We're about to pull some cards, see what we got going on. I hope everybody's doing all right. I'm just trying to get everything situated here, straightened out. All right, so let's do let's do what we got to do here. Yeah, this will do. All right, y'all. So this is gonna be a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Um, it is February what six? Is it the fifth? What is it today? The 15th, February 15th, Sunday. I'm recording this. There's my alarm. Thank you. All right, and I just want to get my little situation going here, and then we'll pull some cards. So I hope everybody's doing all right. I'm doing all right. I can't complain. I'm doing well. I'm blessed. Um, and okay, yeah, I'm just looking at something here, but yeah, y'all, I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. I'm chilling actually, blessed, thankful. Um, I don't really have any thing to complain about. Okay, and I hope some of you are in that state as well, and if not, hopefully you're working towards it. It's a beautiful place to be. I think we should be focusing on regulating our nervous systems, and that includes getting people out of our lives who aggravate those issues with our nervous system, right? So let's see what we got going on. It's Sunday afternoon. What is it? Almost 1 o'clock, something like that. Yeah, actually 1:01. Alarm just went off. 1:01 Eastern Standard Time in Virginia. All right, let's see, let's see what we got going on. Messages for the collective. What they need to know, what they need to hear. All right. Messages for the collective. What do they need to know? What do they need to hear? I don't really celebrate a lot of the holidays, but for those who celebrate, hopefully you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I mean, not Thanksgiving, Lord have mercy. Hopefully you enjoyed your Valentine's Day if you celebrate. All right. But let's see what we got going on. What's going on? 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 All right. So the first card that came out is the moon. Okay. Moon energy. We're about to have a solar eclipse coming up on the 3rd, and then 2 weeks later, we're going to have a lunar eclipse. So I feel like it's a nodal shift. Right now, the nodes are in Aquarius, I mean, they're in Pisces and Virgo. And they're going to be switching with that solar eclipse is switching, the nodes switching to Aquarius. I believe that's when it switches, which is around the 3rd. So in another week and a half. So we're feeling those energies, very intense energies right now. A lot of closings. Eclipses bring on closings. Solar eclipses help you to open up. It's a new energy. It's new life being breathed in. So it's great for manifesting. It could also just be that somebody has something. Some things may be in being revealed to you. Since the last full moon we had in Leo, we have the Six of Cup energy. Yeah, something from your past life. This is definitely past life energy here with the Six of Cups and the moon. Could have something to do with family, for sure. Okay, could have something to do with siblings, cousins, uh, mother figure. Okay, but this is something that's I'm getting energy of bloodline energy. So something could be shifting in reference to your bloodline. Some of you could be healing generational curses, praying for your bloodline. Here we go. More child energy, vitality. This is the strength energy here. Somebody may not understand why they're not able to hold you back or keep you from moving forward. It's because of your Leo energy, your strength. Yeah, here's the 8 of cup energy. Like if somebody's trying to get you to come back is what I'm getting here, and they're not able to, and they're trying to figure out why they're not able to. um for some of you, you could be ending generational curses. Yeah, here's the page of pentacles. I'm sorry, the king of pentacles in reverse, and then the page of pentacles. Okay, so this could be about somebody getting over childhood trauma in reference to not having a father around. You know how they say people have daddy issues. Like I personally don't believe in that type of stuff. Um, like for example, I grew up without my dad in my immediate family. You know, he was around, we knew of him, he was alive, but he didn't grow up in the household with us. So you know, people will say, oh well, you know, some of my characteristics and attributes as far as how I communicate and the way I see relationships has an effect, it has been affected directly because of the fact that I didn't have a father in the household. And I just don't believe that's the case. We got everything we needed. Fathers are to protect and provide, right? That's what they say. Well, my mom provided for us and protected us from outside, you know, issues. We didn't want or need for nothing. We wasn't broke. Never was a light bill. You know, never was a light went off. Never was the refrigerator empty. Never were we walking around with wholly messed up shoes or clothes. Never was there a time when there was a particular event we wanted to participate in. It costed funds. Were we not able to participate? Like I didn't have those issues. So I grew up, and I grew up in a small family, and we had everything we needed. So I didn't grow up with any you know, father issues or daddy issues at all. But people will say, based on how my views are with relationships, that, oh, that's what it is. You didn't have your father around, so that's why you move the way you move or you think the way you think. And I just don't think that's the case. But, you know, I digress. I think it's more so people telling you, society telling you, oh, well, you didn't have a father around, so you have childhood issues. And so a lot of people, they succumb to that. They succumb to it. They say, "Oh well, you know, well, I guess I act this way because I got daddy issues." Well, some people grew up with their fathers in the home, and they still got issues. You understand what I'm saying? That would be considered daddy issues. So I don't subscribe to that. It's up to you. You believe what you want to believe, but I believe if you have issues, it is because of what you experience. It doesn't matter if a dad was in the home or if a mom wasn't. Now, there could be someone, for example, like say I grew up in a home where it was just my mom. Now, I would say you could say that I have mother issues, right? Mommy issues, but you can't have an issue for something that you never had. Like, how can you have daddy issues and you never grew up with a father? Like, I would think that you would have to have an issue because whatever was there warped you in a way. But if nothing was there, how is it warping you? That's just like, oh, well, you're going to grow up having cake issues because you never had cake for your birthday as a kid. What kind of fucking cake issues am I going to have because I never had a cake for my birthday? And opposed to if I had cakes for my birthday and every cake I ate, I hated the frosting, or it was the cake was flat, or it was burnt, or it got messed up in some way. Then I can understand having cake issues. Like to me, my mindset is different. You know, I'm not from here, but forgive me. But I feel an energy here of somebody coming to the conclusion that, yeah, you know, just because society says, oh, your dad wasn't around, so you got daddy issues, or your mom wasn't around, so you got mom issues. To me, that doesn't make any sense. How can you have an issue for something that you never had, right? Like we have to start being critical thinkers and stop allowing society to dictate uh, you know, what it will to us. This is why a lot of us have so many issues that we can't resolve because we don't just stop and think critically. Like, think for a minute. Why do you think that way? Why would you allow someone to project onto you what they think you should have? And 9 times out of 10, the people who are telling you have daddy issues are people who are not psychologically sound enough to be warranting that type of information. These people have not read a psychology book. These people don't even have books in their home, probably. They probably not ever even attended any education in reference to psychology outside of their experience in life, right? But that doesn't mean that they are in a position to tell you you have issues because you didn't have a dad around or because you didn't have a mom around. That means you have issues in that area. That doesn't make any sense to me. Or you're going to have chicken issues because you never ate chicken in your life. So you're going to grow up having chicken issues. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, well, you never had chicken, so yeah, that's what it is. You got chicken issues. In opposed to someone who grew up eating chicken and every time they eat it, they get sick. Or every time they prepare it, they have a difficult time preparing it. Or every time they go to the store and want to buy it, it's garbage. Or they, like those are chicken issues, right? So I look at it in that way. So I feel like for some of you, there's an issue here that it's just you're realizing that it's just mind over matter, and you're breaking generational curses and you are realizing that you have power and authority over what you believe, what you choose to believe. When people come into your life, they're either going to project onto you their ideas and their views, or they're going to reflect back to you what you need to look at within yourself. It's one or the other. So when you stop and think about, what you're getting from this person that you're communicating with, what am I getting from this person? What is it that they want me to get from this interaction? And then you're able to see, what people's motives are, things like that. But I feel like for some of you, you're figuring some things out. You I feel like with this King of Pentacle energy in reverse, it's an energy of someone trying to tell you that because, like I said, with the six, it's opposite the Six of Cup again, and then here's the Page of Cup energy here, and you realizing that no, I have a say in how my life is dictated. I am not, what's the word, cursed. Okay, is what I'm feeling here. I am not cursed with that affliction because you just happen to know I didn't have a dad around, so you're just gonna tell me, okay, I have daddy issues. Or just because I didn't have a mom around, you're gonna tell me I have mommy issues. You could have not grown up with your mother, but you could have grown up with some loving feminine energy. And it doesn't even have to be a woman, it could have been a man who raised you and gave you the nurturing, loving support that you needed. They were there for you emotionally. They nourished, they comforted you, they held you, they hugged you, they showed you you were loved, they told you you were loved, right? In opposed to you growing up with a feminine caretaker who didn't hug you but provided everything you needed financially. You ain't never had to want for nothing. Always had money in your account, always had nice clothes, had lived in a nice place. Y'all had a car. She could have been single, had multiple of you, but yet she never hugged you, never kissed you, never told you she loved you. Like, you see how these dynamics can happen? So everybody's situation is different. So we shouldn't project on the people, nor should we let people project onto us. I'm getting that strongly here. Somebody could also be confirming if they want to have children or not. Somebody could be debating on if they want children. That's another thing I'm seeing here. I feel like somebody is documenting. Somebody is journaling. Journaling is good for you, is what I'm getting as well. If that's what you're into, if you feel that that might help you, that might benefit you. Okay. I feel like somebody's doing some affirmations in reference to increase financial stability. There's some unresolved emotion within someone, and I feel like journaling is helping you to get it out. Like, people will tell you, oh, go to therapy. Therapy is cool, but therapy don't work for everybody. You know what I mean? It just don't. So there's more than one way to approach your healing. And I feel like for some of you, you're exploring different options. And that's what you should do. Whatever works for you. If it's a hybrid combination of, maybe you go to therapy and therapy is not everything for you, and then maybe you also learn astrology, right? And learn to read your chart or have someone read your chart to you. So maybe those two combinations help you to understand what's going on with you. Maybe journaling is something that you do, and meditation, right? Or actually go into a therapist and maybe community support. Maybe you have a preacher or if you're religious, your religious authority, going to them. Maybe that helps. Like, everything ain't for everybody, but there's nothing wrong with exploring and seeing what works for you, what gives you peace, what brings you peace. Some of you, what brings you peace is what might bring you peace is just stop listening to everybody and just do what works for you. That's what I'm getting to. Let's see what else is going on here. Tell me about this moon energy for the collective. This is moon, okay, Ace of Swords. So yeah, there's a truth that is gonna be that is hidden. Somebody may be having a hard time accepting a truth with the moon and the Ace of Swords here. I feel like a truth is going to be revealed. I feel like intuitively you get this truth. Somebody is, it's not something that's going to be told to you. This is something that you are going to get intuitively. And it may be coming to you. Some truths may be coming to you since the full moon that we had back on, what was it, the second or the third or the fourth, something like that. We had a full moon in Leo. I feel like for a lot of you, that's what that strength energy represents, the Leo energy here. There's some truths here that have been downloaded to you. Yeah, here's the sun in reverse, clarifying the Six of Cups. So yeah, this is something that has been kept from you since childhood. This is a something that may have happened to you in the past. You may have blocked this out, because of the pain of it. So for some of you, I feel like you're doing some type of healing, and as you are going deeper, some of the things that you may have forgotten or may not have paid attention to are being presented to you to help you on your journey. Hmm. Three of Wands, exactly. Says so that you can take action to get in control, to get things into perspective here. Exactly. So ego, I'm getting an ego energy here as well. There's an energy of control. There's an energy of understanding here. Um, I'm just getting jealousy also. Somebody is confirming that there's always been some type of jealousy, also sibling rivalry is what I'm getting here. Somebody is understanding this and they're getting a grip on it. So somebody could be dealing with family trauma, and they are doing their outside research and trying to heal that. And I mean outside the family is what I'm saying. The Five of Cup energy in reverse, clarifying the Eight of Cups upright. Yeah, this is going back and forth. It's just like, yeah, it's like you go back to these people, and it's like for some of you, they're never going to tell you the truth. You are never going to tell someone. It's like, say you have family members who treat you a certain way, but they're never going to just come and tell you they don't like you or they prefer someone over you. They just may show acts of favoritism. And you are coming to that conclusion. That's just in a hypothetical situation. You are coming to this conclusion that maybe you were not a favored, and based on how you were treated, right? Say this parental figure uh, intentionally and knew what they were doing. They favored another child, but they would never come out and tell you that that's what they were doing, but their action said otherwise. And for some of you, you're dealing with that, you're accepting that, you're accepting the reality of it. You're not trying to it's like a point where you're going back and forth with it emotionally. And I feel like that is where you were trapped. For some of you, that's a trap. Like that's an emotional trap. And it keeps you unstable and it fucks with your finances. That part of you that's not healed. Look at that. The King of Pentacles comes out twice in reverse, doubling down on that. I do also feel like somebody is doing some, for some of y'all it's just manipulation is what I'm getting here. Manipulation that you've experienced at birth. Yeah, here's the Emperor energy. Again, control. I'm getting control. Someone wanting to control someone, someone not being able to control anyone anymore, someone taking control of their life and what it is that they're going to be doing. This is all about, we have a lot of fire and we have a lot of earth and water here. Fire, earth, there's some air, um, very little air, but the air, whatever, it's like there's a truth here, there's a reality here, there's facts here. So whatever your intuition is telling you based on this fire energy and this water energy is the truth. Like you keep going back and forth about something with the Eight of Cups here and the Five of Cup reverse. You keep going back and forth about something because you may not want to deal with the reality of it. It could be about being lonely because the King of Pentacles is in reverse. This is an insecurity, being afraid. Okay, because we're dealing with Capricornian energy here. All right, so the King of Pentacles is in reverse twice. So somebody not being secure, not being grounded, not being solid in something. Okay, this could also be someone trying to do something to mess with someone's finances. This is also an energy of someone realizing that they may have had financial independence had they saved their money or saved money. Yeah, this is all about not stressing about it with the Nine of Swords energy in reverse. Not stressing over something. The thing is okay, in the past, like somebody might be afraid of moving forward with some information or coming to someone with some information. Um, but you're not going to get the truth. So, for example, like I said, with that favoritism thing, it could be a situation where a parent may be favored. Say you're an adult and you went through a situation in the family where you were not favored. You know this for a fact, but nobody ever said it to you directly. Some of you may have even brought up circumstances and situations where you would have shown proof. I don't feel like I feel like there's a lot of gaslighting here. Okay. And I feel like you should be comfortable with knowing what you know and leave it at that. Because someone's trying to render you powerless in your thoughts and your views on how you see something. Someone is trying to tell you that something didn't happen when it did. There's a lot of insecurity here. A lot of insecurity. A lot of insecurity. Self-esteem. Self-esteem. So because there could have been some emotional neglect as a child here, your self-esteem is so a good way to develop self-esteem for those who are trying to develop it, because I went through a situation where I was very insecure because I grew up in an environment where that was, you know, the things that I experienced as a child made me insecure. So I did a lot of things that insecure people would do. But one way that I was able to come up out of that and gain confidence, which is why some of those people from my childhood don't understand me now, is because I was one way and now I'm totally different. Like I was a pushover at one point, people said shit to me, did shit to me, and I really didn't do much back. And that was a form of insecurity because I didn't want to be by myself or not have friends or not, you know, um, be looked at as valued or appreciated. So one of the things that I did growing up, or one of the things I learned is I got first of all I got out of that environment. I moved someplace else because a lot of times, a lot of if you still in the place where you were born and raised, and you're still dealing with trauma, and you're at an age now where it's like, yo, I still having problems. Sometimes moving away from the environment you were in will save your life. It will start you on a journey of healing because sometimes you got to get out of that energy. You got to get away from it. So what I did was I moved away, and I moved away and came back, moved away and came back, moved away and came back numerous times. Um, but once you get out of that environment, you can then begin to look at the situation you were in, because now you're around people who didn't grow up like you, people who don't have the same ideas and views of you as you do, and who have a view of you as you did when you were younger. So now you're around a different environment. So now you're able to mend, heal, and mold yourself into the person you want to be. So I would tell you, if you want to build confidence and self-esteem, there's no other way to build confidence and self-esteem like moving away. packing up and moving away someplace where you don't know anybody. Be safe, of course. But hey, maybe you've been to this particular city a couple of times. You like it. You may know someone there. Maybe you don't. Pack up your shit and go. Trust me when I tell you, once you are successful, as far as you and successful could just be you have a nice place to stay, you have transportation, you have means to provide for yourself. Once you become successful in that, right, that's going to help build confidence in you, because you're going to be like, hey, I was able to do A, B, and C. So the hell with what they were telling me when I was growing up, or the hell with what people thought about me, or the hell with what I thought about myself. I'm capable of doing this. Another thing you could do, it's up to you. Some people don't believe in going to school, some people do. Get a degree if you want to, or get a certificate. If you're not someone who wants to be in school for 4 years, okay, cool. But if there's something that you're interested in, you want to learn it, go ahead and get that degree or get that certificate. Once you get it, that's going to build a level of confidence in yourself as well, right? So you want to do things that are gonna build your self esteem, because what's going on, and it's problematic, is you got a lot of people who are always looking over at other people's lives, coveting what other people got going on, and being jealous. And to me, it's a mental illness to be jealous. There's nothing wrong with looking at what else somebody else is doing and being inspired. But it's another thing for you to look at what somebody else is doing and you feel hate for them because they got something you want, or they're doing something and being bold about something that you could never do and be bold about. That has nothing to do with that person. And then some people take it to the next level and want to attack this person or take from this person or try to sabotage their path. If you took that same energy that you take to mind someone else's business, and then to attach an emotion to it, and then thirdly to go after them, if you took all that energy and focused on healing yourself, how dope would you be? How successful would you be? How happy would you be? Right? So, some people, they got to stop looking at other people and stop being mad at other people and just start focusing on what it is that they got. You got so many people out here trying to take advantage of others who are courageous enough to go out there and step out. But this is why you have to separate yourself from what you're normally used to, what you grew up around. You have to. You have to separate from that. Some people are very family oriented, where it's like, okay, well, my family I grew up with, we still tight and we still cool. And that's good if that works for you. But for a lot of people, that does not work. Your family that you grew up with is your family you grew up with. Now it's time for you to go out in the world and establish and build your own family based on who you are right here and now. Because a lot of times the family you had that you grew up with, they're only going to see you as that person you were when you were growing up. They don't see who you are trying to evolve into being. And they may even fight that evolution. So not only are you out here in the world trying to fight to be who you is, try to find out who you are and trying to explore what it is that you want so that you can evolve into who you want to be, you got people who are hindering you, holding you back because they don't want to see you change, or they don't like the change because hell, it's just change. You're not the same. So they don't like it. So they're going to complain and protest. And of course, you care about their feelings. So now you're going to be sitting here questioning yourself when all you're trying to do is evolve and grow. You ain't hurting a goddamn person. You're just trying to evolve and grow. But because these people are used to you being a certain way, they're going to enforce their and project onto you, which a lot of times is what's stagnating you. All right, the Emperor came. Is this the Emperor? Yeah, the Emperor came out in reverse. Exactly. So this is the energy of you, not being in control, or someone trying to be controlling and domineering over you. Okay. Yeah. Here's the Page of Cup and Pages of One. I'm sorry, Page of Pentacles in reverse. The thing is people don't want you to grow. They don't want you to move on. They want to keep you stagnant. Someone's trying to control. It could be a father figure. It could be a family member. Okay, just somebody who's older than you, or it could be an organization. It could be a job where they don't want to promote you. You decide, okay, I've learned what I needed to learn in this department. I've been here this amount of years. I've been here 2 years. I'm ready to move on. Where you got people who've been there 6 and 7, 8 years and they comfortable with that, and then they look at you like something's wrong with you because you're ready to move on. So now they don't want to let you move on, or they'll try to rig, throw monkey wrench in your situation so you can't. Yeah, here we go. Toxic devil energy trying to keep you and hold you back. It don't matter what environment it is. You are at a point now where it's time for you to grow. It's time for you to move forward. And you got all kinds of people who feel that they have a say in your life trying to stop you from moving forward. Yeah. Here, look at all these major arcana coming out. You got the Emperor reverse, the devil energy, the magician, and then the Four of Pentacles, trying to hold you back. And then here is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, there's growth that's coming to you. Okay, and you deserve it. You worked hard for it. It is yours. Whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, someone is trying to stop you from manifesting it. When I see the devil and the magician here, this is energy of someone purposely trying to hold you back in some way, shape, or form, not allowing you to use, or trying to prevent you from using your gifts, your skills, your talents, your abilities to move forward. They could be jealous of those gifts, talents, skills, and abilities, or trying to downplay those gifts, talents, skills, and abilities to hold you back, to keep you from moving forward. Okay? Somebody could be telling you, "Oh, you don't need to go take a class. That's outdated." And this, like, if that's what some people don't go to school just to get a degree to work in someone's company. Some people go to school to get a degree because they're just intellectual. They want to learn, right? Or some people go to school and get a degree because they want to start their own business and they need, to be introduced. All school does is introduce you to different areas that you may have to participate in when you are participating in this particular field. Here's some of the things you may experience, or here's some of the things you may have to deal with, and tests you on it just so that you have a general understanding. Now when you get out into the real world, things are not going to be 100% like the book. Anybody who's going to school will tell you that, right? Or taking a class. When you take the class, you learn whatever you learn, but out in the real world is different. What the book and what the school is basically there to do is to help you to structure your thoughts, to implement critical thinking, so that you have information in front of you, you're able to look at it logically and make sense of it and figure out what goes where, put it in a particular series of order as priority versus not as important, and how to execute and go about getting it what you need to do done. That's what school teaches you. People are missing the point of what education is. So you have a lot of people who will talk down on it because they are not. Well, I've never been a type of person who, some people will say, well, I'm not a school person. I never been good in school. It's not that you're not a school person and you never been good in school. You have a brain, you can learn. It's just either you weren't ready at that time, or you were around instructors who didn't give a fuck to figure out your particular learning style. One of the things I didn't learn until I went to college was that we all have different types of learning styles. And if you go online and Google different types of learning styles and you take a series of, tests to find out what your learning style is, I'm telling you, whatever it was that you had F's in grade school or in high school, I bet if you took a class in it now, once you know your learning style, I bet you get A's and B's in it. I guarantee you. What's this Emperor energy in reverse? I'm also getting the energy of, maybe there's a father who has a business and he wants his son to work in his same industry. Maybe he wants to pass it down and the son does not want that. He wants to do something different. He may want to go into, like, this could be a father who runs a blue collar business and he may have a son who is into white collar work. So maybe the father has an auto mechanic shop and he wants that passed down to his son. He may want his son to learn how to fix cars, where his son may not want to do that. His son may want to learn computers with the mercurial energy, right? Um, and maybe, there's differences there. So maybe you have family members who are wanting you to do something different. I remember this one boss said to me, he wasn't a boss, but, a supervisor. I'm telling him I wanted to do something different. I wanted to go into a different direction. And I knew where I wanted to go, and I wanted to go into technology or what have you. And he's like, well, why not go into human resources? Like, what? Come on now. I'm not going into human resources if that's not what I want. I told you what I wanted. Why are you trying to direct me to go someplace else? So, you have some people who will try to control and manipulate you to go where they want you to go. Because with the Page of Cup energy in reverse here, this is somebody who doesn't want you to fulfill your happiness because maybe they didn't get theirs, or they're not doing what they want to do. I just feel like it's a dysfunctional relationship. Okay, this is what this Ten of Cup energy in reverse and this Emperor energy in reverse. This is dysfunction in a family environment or a community environment. It could be work related, but it's dysfunctional because the boss or the supervisor here is somebody who's very controlling, very dictator type of thing. If it's an actual father figure, this is somebody who causes dysfunction in the family because what he says goes. If you are married to this type of man, this is what goes on here. Okay, what he says goes. And the children, once they get a certain age, they don't agree with or subscribe to, what he wants for them. You have the Five of Cups, clarifying the Knight of Pentacles energy in reverse. I'm just getting someone forcing themselves onto someone, not allowing someone to grow, keeping someone stifled. For example, maybe the child is trying to find themselves, so maybe they went to school for a year and then didn't finish, and maybe they just needed some more time before they matured. And I mean, I'm telling you, I didn't graduate with my bachelor's degree until I was like 38 years old. I'm not even gonna hold you, and I've been going to college since I was 17, in and out, in and out, because I wasn't ready, because I was still dealing with traumas and things like that. So don't beat yourself up if you are trying to focus on something and maybe you fell off the horse. Get back on. It's okay. Don't let somebody tell you, oh, after a certain period of time you can't do that anymore. Who are they to tell you what you can and can't do? This is your life. You run shit. Who is this person going to tell you what you can and can't do? Because that's not what they would do. Like, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, trying to keep you subscribed to, some nonsense that has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with, what you truly want. Yeah, the Knight of Wand energy in reverse. The Knights are in reverse. So the Knights are like, on journeys. You go on a journey. People are trying to keep you from going on your individual journey. Somebody don't want you traveling, don't want you moving. This could be family members who want you to move back to the area in which you grew up, or they got a problem with you relocate. Oh, you don't want to be around us. All that, like, yo, can I live my life? I lived my life with you when we were kids. Like, we grew up together. Can I not? Can I move on now? Like, I don't owe you shit. I love you, we cool, but I'm gonna go do what I want to do. You can come visit, we can still keep in contact, but I don't want to be here. This is not for me. I'm not thriving here. I can't thrive here. Some of you, it's the environment you're in. You might grow up in a real small town where there's no real opportunity, and you want to go someplace else and do something different. And you got people who got a problem with that. Yeah, Mercury and the Nine of Pentacles. You want to manifest stability and independence for you. Now, for some of you, you are women who are in connections with men who don't want you to. You could either be in a connection or married to someone who is stifling your growth, or you may be a woman who wants to maintain independence because you understand the responsibility of having a relationship. You understand that in any relationship with a man or a woman, the woman is always giving more because she has more to give than the man does. That's just naturally the way we're wired. And anybody who says differently is stupid, right? Women always give more because that's how they're designed to be. So you have a lot of women who are deciding, okay, do I want the responsibility? Because then there's kids, then there's a responsibility of a home, then there's a responsibility of taking care of, a husband. When all typically and traditionally the man has to do is provide. Like, people don't expect the man to be the forefront in the household as far as running the household, right? They expect the women to do this. So this is why women are automatically responsible and expected to do more when it comes to a union. And there's someone here who says, I don't want that. I don't want the traditional means of being married. I don't want children. I want to be able to go out and manifest and create what it is that I want to create. I want to do what I want to do. I want to be able to, experience what it is that I want to experience. Maybe they want to do that first and then have kids. So this Emperor energy in reverse and the Knight of Pentacle energy in reverse could be a family member saying, no, you need to get married and have kids. Or they could be telling this man this, no, you need to get married and you need to have kids. And he's like, well, what if I don't want to be married? What if I just want to be single and focus on my career aspirations first before I start getting with someone and getting someone pregnant? Like, it could be this type of thing here. So somebody is separating themselves from everybody else with this Four of Pentacle energy, because other than that, they're not going to be happy. Yeah. And so with the Page of Swords, it's like, we can speak from a distance, but I'm focused on, the blessings that I want for me. So for some of you, this is just about moving away, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, from what you were used to, from what you grew up with, from what you were around. And going out into the world and figuring out who you are, what it is that you want, what makes you happy. Because here you're not happy, because you're not allowed to be yourself with this Four of Pentacles and this Nine of Cup energy in reverse. You're not allowed to be yourself. Now, for some of you, you may have a family member, whether it's a father figure, an uncle, it could even be your husband, who suffers from alcoholism. Okay, um, a lot of drinking here. It could be anything, but it could be a lot of drinking here. So there's an energy of someone trying to clean themselves up. Okay, somebody may be subjected to drug addiction because they were suppressed in some way, shape, or form. So somebody is cleaning themselves up and realizing they got to get out of the area. And, it's just like, how you see, if you go into an inner city, even out in the suburbs too. But it seems as though they're able to be seen more easily when you go into a densely populated area. You see people who are on drugs, strung out, especially in major metropolises. It's very evident, right? And somebody could be trying to get themselves cleaned up. Well, like I was saying in the first read, in order for you to get yourself cleaned up, sometimes you got to remove yourself from the environment you're in. This is why a lot of rehabs are out of the city. The ones that are in the city are pointless. I feel like the ones that are in the city are the ones that are good for people who, if you get pulled over and you got like, a small amount of drugs on you or whatever, and oh, you got to go do 30 days, you know, whatever, as a result of you, being stopped, and you don't really have a problem like that. You just may have happened to get caught or whatever. But the ones that are in the cities, I don't feel like they benefit, because it's like, why would you put a rehabilitation center for alcohol and drugs in a major city, which is a couple of blocks from a major strip where you can buy drugs? So for some people, they realize they got to go out. They got to go out and away from their environment to heal. Yeah, overreact. So for some of you, you could have family members and friends who are overreacting because you want to move on with your life. You're not happy where you are. You want to make change, and you got people who are trying to control you. Yeah, fearful. So for some of you, you may not even be moving because you're afraid of how other people are going to treat you or respond, or you're afraid that you won't have anybody once you move away. Yeah, came out. Work came out, and worthiness. So for some of you, it's all about feeling worthy of respect. That insecurity I was talking about earlier, feeling worthy of, okay, well, everybody is worthy of love to a certain extent, depending on what you feel it is, or you're worthy of being able to have a safe place to live, having clean water. You're worthy of these things, of having, solid connections and dreams and goals. You're worthy of that. You're able to have that, right? But you also have to work for it. It's not going to just come to you, right? So for some people, you know um I'm just getting a lot of energy of people trying to tell other people what to do and how to do shit. I don't know. I've never been a type of person who relied heavily on other people's opinion and views. So it's just really hard for me to understand this world. So forgive me for being, if I'm coming off as being, what do you want to call it, a know-it-all, or thinking I'm better than. It's just that's an affliction I've never had to really deal with like that. For some of you, strictly sexual. So like I said, for some of you, you're dealing with people who want to keep you around because they want to benefit off of you. I'm just getting someone overindulging in someone, using someone's energy, feeding off of someone. Yeah, children. So for some of you, you got to be careful who you mess around with, because there could be just people who want to stagnate you, because there's an independent energy here with the Magician and the Nine of Pentacles. This is you wanting to manifest prosperity, stability, happiness, as someone who doesn't have children and someone who's not married. But you have someone who's trying to hold you back, trying to hold you down. Yeah, and they're upset because you rejected them. Okay, or for some of you, you are going to reject them when you make the decision to do what you want to do. Now somebody could be coming towards you, wanting to propose to you, wanting to be married to you, somebody you may have already dealt with in the past, and this is their last ditch effort to hold you and to keep you so that you don't leave them. They don't love you, you already know that, right? But what they want to do is they want to marry you, they're going to propose. So some of you, there could be a proposal, and then here's an epiphany. Aha, some of you are figuring this out. Okay, you're figuring out that this situation, for some of you, you were already married to this person, and it was like I call them one night stands that last too long. You may have ended up having kids with this person, and now maybe you are deciding, okay, you know what, this relationship is not working, it's not what I thought it would be. Or you got married and had kids, and you're realizing that, for you, and not for everybody, but for you, that was a death sentence, for your goals and your dreams and your aspirations, because you do have to put, your life on the side. When you have a child, it's no longer your life anymore. When you're in a relationship with someone or you get married, it's no longer your life anymore. Now it's our life. Whatever you do now has to include this other person, whether it's a child and or husband or wife. So I don't. This is why, me personally, I don't understand why people are so quick to jump into relationships and feel so unappreciated or feel so weird when they're not in a relationship. That's a fucking responsibility. A relationship is a responsibility. Again, it is no longer about you and what you want to do and when you want to do it and the way you want to do it. Now you always have to consider someone else. And some of you are realizing that now. It's like you realize, some of you had to get into this situation and realize it. Some of you are realizing that this person trapped you intentionally. And now you're looking at your life like, I have life to live. There's more things that I want to do. There's more things I want to experience. So I want to explore the possibilities. And that's what your decision is going to be about. Do I want to have a child with this person? Because some of you could be pregnant. Do I want to have a child, or do I want to do A, B, and C? Yeah, intimacy, mutual respect, closeness, and unity. This is what it entails to be in a relationship. And a lot of people, they just want to be in a relationship because they just want to feel like, oh, okay, well, somebody loves me, somebody want me. But they don't want to be in a relationship. A relationship involves work, a lot of work, and a lot of responsibility. Yeah, romantic. So this is somebody, like I said, somebody's trying to come over and introduce romance to you, or romance you to get you to think, oh, relationship will be good with me. But in reality, they just want sex. So a lot of men get married, and I say that all the time. A lot of men and women too, because here's the addict card. They get married so that they have a steady supply. And then they still go out there and do whatever it is that they want to do. But focus on you. Do what's best for you. Don't worry about what society says and what other people should be telling you should be doing and how you should do it. And, oh, you shouldn't do that, or you're not going to be happy. You're going to be alone and you're going to be lonely. Wait till you get older and all of that type of stuff. Everybody should do what's best for them. I'm a witness to being 54 years old, no children, not married, not in a relationship, and my nervous system is good right now. Do you hear me? I never felt so much peace until I moved away from my home environment and just started doing me. I moved states away. Okay, my nervous system readjusted. I was able to sit down and process and start healing my childhood wounds. Start looking back at that and figuring out what I needed to do to fix myself and heal myself so that I could be the best version of me that I could possibly be. It is a feeling I cannot describe to you. It is amazing. And on top of that, I was also blessed with the opportunity to take care of myself and be able to have financial independence where I don't have to punch a clock. Had I stayed in the environment that I was in, I would have always been subjected to that, and I would have been subjected to not being respected for the person that I was evolving into being. Sometimes you have to step out there and do what it is that you want to do. And I'm telling you, it's not easy. But I'm telling you, if you know that there's something else out there for you, if you know your intuition is telling you there's more out there for me, you owe it to yourself. The worst case scenario is you could just end up right back where you are. And that's what I always tell myself. The worst case scenario is I could always end up back where I'm at right now. That's the worst case scenario that could happen at this particular moment, is that I'm right here where I am right now and nothing has changed. And if you're at that stage where you're not happy right now, that's how you should look at it if you want to make a move. This is the worst that could happen. It's the worst to the point where it makes me want to move. It makes me question where I'm at. It makes me question wanting to do something different. Take a chance, take a risk on yourself. The universe is waiting to help you. The universe wants you happy. So if you take a risk and you trust and you have faith, that's what a lot of us don't have. And I even battle with it from time to time. But you have to take a risk and you have to be able to establish a connection with your higher self first in order for you to even take that risk. And you got to start working on healing your wounds, because if you don't, that trauma is just going to keep you stuck. It's going to keep you anchored where you are. And you're going to wonder why you keep trying to go up and you come back down. You try to go up and you come back down. Once you heal those traumas, when you go up, you'll constantly start going up and you won't come back down so far, so hard, and so fast. All right. I wish you guys the best, and I'll see you in the next reading later.